Hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever you're watching, whatever time you're watching this. This is my official debut of episode 1 of my official Pure Facts podcast. My name is Hanif Frazier. I am a passionate teen from the upper cities of Newark, and I'm want to come here to talk about sports with you guys and overall have my voice been heard and not be silenced. I am a big advocate of speaking your truth, speaking your opinion, because your opinion does matter. A little bit about myself, as you guys can see, my jersey, my Pat Mahomes jersey. I'm a Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan since I've been a freshman in high school. So I'm not a bandwagon. I did not switch up. I recently got into sports around high school. I always played sports throughout my life, such as like Pop Warner football. I played low level high school football. I even played a little bit of college football. So I've always been a big advocate on playing sports. It's just something I like to do. I'm also a gamer. I also like to debate. I'm a good debater. As you guys are going to see throughout the video, I have a list, but I never has let that stop me from speaking my mind and speaking clearly. So no matter what the opinions that other have on you, no matter what setbacks you have, bro, man, you can still do it. So I want to get a little bit about myself before we get into this podcast. This is going to be a weekly podcast, probably once per week, maybe even two. I do know the schedule. From now on, the schedule is going to be Wednesday because those are the days I have off of work. So every Wednesday, like today's Wednesday, every Wednesday we're going to be doing a live podcast, probably early, maybe like 10 o'clock. I want to do it before the Thursday because in Thursdays, of course, is the beginning of a new week. So we're here to talk about week 1 of the NFL 2023 to 2024 season. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first question, as you guys can see, is below me. How do the Chiefs embarrass themselves in that way? So the first game of the 2023 season was the Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions. And if you guys don't know, the Chiefs lost 20-21, Victor being the Lions. The game was an overall embarrassment for my offense. It was an embarrassment for my quarterback. It was an embarrassment for my coach, and it was embarrassing to watch. That was the worst game since probably the 2020 Super Bowl we played against Tampa Bay, where we were dropping the ball religiously. And also another one is in the first half of the Texans versus Chiefs divisional round, where we were dropping the ball like crazy. Now I understand we had two big key players out. We had Chris Jones out, and of course Chris Jones was out because he wanted to negotiate a new contract. He wasn't given the money he wanted. And then number two, Travis Kelsey was ruled out late a day before from I'm not too sure. I think it was like a leg injury or some with his leg, and he was ruled out. So I know I was skeptical going into this game because the Lions are up and coming team. I feel like they're better than they were last year. Not too much can be said about this game, but we'll go more in depth into that game. But the real question is like, what happened to my offense? Like, I don't know what. Like, they were so discombobulated. Like, this is the worst played game I've seen from my Chiefs in a long time. And what I mean by that is that usually when we lose a game or when we're in a tight game, it's never the game plan because Andy Reid is so set in stone. He's a great coach, one of the greatest coaches of my generation, and he always have his players like on a whim. Like they know what they're doing, they know their assignment, and that's why I think we're so good. It's not that the talent we have, it's the fact that our coaching is so good and everyone knows their roles and they never get too big for their roles, right? So, first, the game was going good. We were doing okay. And then I don't know what happened in the second half of the game. Kadarius Tony could not catch a ball. It was actually frightening to see. It was scary. Someone who just helped us win the Super Bowl the year prior, unable to catch a single ball. Like these balls were not even like they weren't even crazy, man. They were like passes to your chest. Like I'm not joking, bro. I swear to you, if they would have suited me up, I could have caught at least one of those passes, man. I'm being like genuinely honest. That it was so bad to the point where like I was physically mad. Like I, everyone as a fan is passionate about their team, of course, but I don't think I've ever gotten to a point where like unless it's the playoffs. The playoffs is all fair game because that's like you lose or go home. But I've never been so mad looking at a regular season game ever because it wasn't my quarterback. It wasn't my coach. It was strictly the wide receiver core. Sky Moore missed a pass that should have been caught. I give you granted that it was a bit high, but still catchable. Kadarius Toney actually lost. I've never seen one person make a team lose the game so bad in my life. Like he dropped three passes. I think it was five actually. Or it might have been four. It might have been four or five. It feels like he dropped fucking 20. To be honest with you, he dropped one in pass that gave them the chance to tie the game to pick six right off of him. Then he drops a pass that could have probably turned the momentum of the game. It was 3rd and 8. I think it would have been a nice little 15-yard pass for us to score a first down, and he misses it again. At that point, there's like when I'm watching football, there's a feeling in my stomach. It's usually always right. It's like a gut feeling where I start to get unpleasant, and I know something's gonna happen, and it usually always happens. And as soon as I seen that, I was like, yeah, I think this game is over. I think he is mentally distraught. I think he is. I think he just physically he wasn't there. Now, granted, he didn't have a lot of time to practice with the squad because of the ongoing leg injury he's been having. But still, like you're an NFL player, like there's some things that you have to catch. There's some things that you have to do. And as you supposed to be the next big number one receiver for our team, and for you to come out and have a sad performance like that, it was pathetic, man. It was actually just unpleasant to watch. Now for the Lions, I'm gonna give the Lions their props. I'm gonna give them their props. That was a good game by them. Good win on them. Their offense was okay. It wasn't too good. Like I mean, they did lose two star running backs. I think it was Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. They traded them and they got a new guy. That new guy was pretty. That new guy was so fast, man. I don't want to be disrespectful. I want to actually bring up his name because he was like, bro, he was like a speedster, bro. Like he was looking like Tyreek Hill out there. Like it was insane. His name was Jameer Gibbs. That man, Jameer Gibbs, is gonna go places. Now they have a Jameer Gibbs and they have a David Montgomery little two back kind of thing. That thing is scary, man. They were pounding the ball on us. Granted, there was no Chris Jones, and Chris Jones is one of the main people who's good at stopping and run. Chris Jones is excellent at stopping and run. That's why usually people don't rush on us that much because we have like Chris Jones. We did lose Frank Clark, but I digress. Chris Jones is more than enough to be kind of like that Aaron Donald. Like if he's not getting a sack himself, he's disrupting the O line. He's making them block extra. He's making them step to the right, making them step to the left. Wherever he's going, it's a presence that they have to deal with. So I'm good off that. Like I said, the run was they were running. Them two were really good. Jared Goff made some timely throws. He was doing really, really well. He was being patient in the pocket. Usually he gets a little antsy sometimes. But I was impressed. The Lions look like a legitimate team this year. I think that they need to tighten up their defense because the defense was still pretty bad. Like if I want to say if we would have caught maybe like two of those balls, the game probably would have been over. But I mean, I don't want to say if because you guys know what if means. If means like if didn't happen. But overall, the game was embarrassing to watch. It was not a good game for me. I did not like it. And hopefully we do better on a week coming up to the Jaguars because that was an excuse. That was a non-exclusive game. Sorry, that I will that's burned into my memory, and I probably will never forget from years to come because it was bad. Okay, so the next question we got is, you guys. I know you guys seen the Browns and the Bengals game. Now, I want to start off the fact that the Bengals do bad every year at the beginning of the year. It is just something about them where they're just not like in sync. It takes them a couple games to get in sync, and I don't know why. But this game was so bad. And let me tell you why. The reason why this game was so bad is because I feel like the Browns played bad also. Like the Browns didn't play well. Like it was like this week one was so weird because there's a lot of more games that were they just both played bad and it all came to who was gonna make that play. I don't know what it is, but I guess people are rusty because they haven't been like, doing too much training or maybe they haven't been practicing a lot, but it was just disgusting. So first of all, Joe Burrow did get injured and he just was coming back off the injury. So he was probably rusty. He wasn't 100%. So he was doing some stuff that he shouldn't really be doing. And of course, yet again, the Bengals have a shit O line. Like I don't understand. They spent so much money, and you see everyone was talking about how Orlando Brown's going to be missed, and Orlando Brown's going to do this. Orlando Brown is he's okay. I would give you okay only. He is not a top tier O line. He's just not O line play. He's not, man. He gives up too many pressures. He's just not a good blocker. Like he's just mid, man. Like I don't understand what was such a big deal when we let him go. Like that was the only guy like I was willing to let go from the O line, and it didn't scare me whatsoever. But back to the Bengals. The Bengals O line is shit. Jamar Chase got locked up. I've never seen Jamar get locked up like that, and like I didn't even know who was D'ing him, bro. Like I couldn't even name you like a Browns DB or cornerback. Like I couldn't name one, man. Like I'm trying to think like and I know at least one player on each side of the team for every team. So like each side of the ball for every team. So it's just weird that Jamar Chase got locked up. Joe Burrow looked horrible. I think he threw like two picks or something like that. Or was it did he not throw a pick but he just looked bad? Yeah. He was in the game for majority of the game. He was 14 for 31 and he threw a total of 82 yards. They got Joe Mixon only ran for 50 yards. They got smacked. This was a 3-24 victory on the Browns part. This was a worst game I've ever seen the Bengals play. Now, on the other hand, the Browns didn't play well either. The Browns were horrible. Deshaun Watson's looking really bad. Like he's looking like I don't know what happened, but when you out of football for a long time, it takes time for you to get back into the groove of things. So it's understandable that he was so damn bad. But he's been bad for a little bit too long, and it's time for him to kick up. He's getting paid that money. He needs to start fucking playing like he had that money, because that game was not good. He was like missing untimely passes. He threw like one pick that was like, why the fuck would you even throw that ball? Like it was just like so weird. And I'm looking at it like I'm like, man, yeah, this is the quarterback y'all want to be our next star quarterback. This guy's really bad. Like I know it takes a while for people to like get to the groove of things, but come on, man, like it's just ridiculous. Like it doesn't make sense. Okay, now let's go. Let's finish recap with that game. It's an overall bad game. It was not fun to watch. It was really really bad. I didn't enjoy it. Now let's talk about a game that shocked everybody. The Buccaneers at Vikings. Right? That game was so I don't want to say it was good because it was also kind of bad too. Like all the games were relatively bad this week, but it was a shocker because everyone had the Vikings favorite to win. But oh my God, did the Bucks come to play? Mike Evans, man, he still got it. Mike Evans might be one of the most underrated receivers like in history of the game, man. Like he didn't have too many yards. He had 66 yards for one touchdown. But when the time comes and you need somebody for that moment, he's always there, bro. He usually always deliver. Like I remember when last year when Tom and them was going on a stretch when they were losing and Mike was doing really, really bad. But against the Panthers in that game to win the division, Mike stepped up. He had like three tutties or something like that, bro. Whenever you need Mike Evans to step up, he steps up. That's what I feel like what makes a god tier player from an average player. You're always gonna have bad games, but it's what you do in those big moments that rectify or judge how you are, such as like the last touchdown or you need touchdown, you need some yards to get in field goal range, stuff like that. Like that's what I value more from a player than them just getting like hella yards, right? But Baker, right? Is Baker Mayfield the answer for the Bucks? Now, I've always been a kinda a big Baker fan. Like not really because he was in the AFC before and everybody in the AFC I'm a fan of, but I'm not too fan of because they're going against my team. So the gloves are off when we're playing them. But I feel like Baker is actually like not a bad option for them. Like I feel like Baker's really good at throwing up contested balls because he's had one of the best contested catches. Um, Being Odell Beckham when he was good. Odell Beckham is really good, known for jumping up and catching the balls contestedly. He has one of the best catches ever with the one handed like or like it's like three fingers, man. Like he has one of the best catches of all time. So I've always thought Baker was pretty good. In this game, he did struggle in the first half. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like he struggled like hard. I think he was like being a little bit too rushed. Like Baker's a tough quarterback, like a tough quarterback. I remember one play where he was like running to get the first down, and then he like cracked one of the DBs. It was the funniest thing. Me and my boys were just laughing because I'm like, that's that white boy strength, bro. He got it. He got it. But it was just funny to watch. But Baker was making some nice timely passes. That Mike Evans end zone touchdown pass was beautiful, right on the dot, in between the receivers. I mean, in between the DBs, it was amazing. Baker might be a really good option for this team. Now, I do think that this team's defense is not the best, so that could hold them back in the long run. But in a division like the NFC South, I think it's the NFC South. Let me just make sure. I don't want to know if anybody likes it. It is NFC South. That thing is wide open, man. Like the Panther, like it's just wide open. Like the Panthers aren't looking too good this year. The Saints are not looking too good this year. The Falcons, the Falcons are looking good this year. Falcons are looking good this year, and 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 after that game right there, we gotta see. But on what the fuck on the line of the sorry on the line of the Panthers and Falcons game, I thought that game was actually pretty good. I thought some players really did step up, and I thought Bryce Young had a really really bad game. I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. I just was so fast. B. John Robinson for the Falcons game was actually insane. Now everyone was hyping him up, saying that he was going to be one of the best prospect running backs of this generation. The first game he definitely did deliver, man. This guy was actually insane. He was running all over the Carolina defense, and Carolina defense is pretty good. Like the Panther defense is not a bad defense whatsoever. He had some really good stats. Like I think he ran for like over like yeah almost 60 yards for his rookie game. Pretty amazing. The Falcons pretty much had this game in a hold after the second quarter. It was pretty close to the first half. I think it was like 3-6 or something like that, and then the Falcons just blew it away. Bryce Young looked really bad, man. It was a shame to see such a quarterback with so much talent do so bad against a mediocre defense. Like the Falcon defense is not that good. So for him to have two picks against them, it's like so bad that he was trying to throw it like it was giving me kind of like Josh Allen vibes, where like you just like try to throw the ball and fit it into holes that you shouldn't throw the ball at. He was doing some really really goofy stuff that I didn't really enjoy. I didn't like. Tone that down and he should be good. He still was a threat running though. He was pretty good on his feet. He's still a really fast guy, but him being so short is gonna be a problem later down the line because like he's no Kyler Murray. I don't feel like he has that same kind of Kyler Murray speed that makes Kyler Murray such a dual threat. Like it's just like it's just not good. Like I think I really am trying to get a lot of negatives from him. Like, I don't know what to say about that. It's just the negatives are like popping out at me, and I think he's gonna struggle in the meantime. He's gonna struggle in the meantime. Okay, so um Falcons clean up the Panthers. And I thought the Panthers was actually going to be the team that's going to win that division this year, but I guess off that game, I guess not. But let's go to another pretty weak division that I would say, the Jaguars and the Colts. Man, oh my God, this game was so much better than I was expecting, and then some. So first of all, I want to give his props out to Anthony Richardson. I think he right now is the best rookie QB out of all of them. I think it's like um Bryce Young. What's the other guy's name? I know it's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. So I think that out of all of them, Anthony Richardson looked the best. This guy was making some good timely passes. He could run. He could take contact. He was reading the field very well. It was a very impressive game on both parts from Trevor and from Anthony Richardson. I expect no less from Trevor because Trevor is really, I think he's gonna, in a few, I want to say maybe a year, another year, he's gonna break out into a top five QB bare minimum, man. Trevor did throw a pick that was kind of dumb, but I mean, I'm not too big on like throwing picks. I don't really care about that because like if you don't do it that much, or if you don't, if I see it and I say like, okay, I could have seen what you were doing there, just like that was dumb, but like don't just like I could see it, like then I don't really care about it. But like picks like Josh Allen where you're just throwing the ball down the field, or like last year Dak Prescott when you're just trying to squeeze it in that hole and you know damn well that's not good. It's like three defenders on him. Those are just reckless and stupid. But the one that Trevor did throw was dumb. But I mean, he doesn't have a reputation of throwing those kind of picks. The game was nitty gritty. The Jaguars took the lead, then the Colts took the lead, then the Jaguars took the lead, then the Colts took the lead, then the Colts got that big stop. It was the craziest play I ever seen. Like, um, they made Trevor Lawrence fumble the ball, was picked up by Calvin. We got to talk about Calvin Ridley too. Was picked up by Calvin Ridley, and then was punched out of his hand by a DB, and they picked it up and they scored. It was the craziest shit ever. Like, and it was still all that was done in play. Like, and I was like, wow, like that's insane. Like, I was getting like I wasn't pissed because I'm not a Jags fan, but for Jags fans, I would have seen how that was. I'm like, what? Like, that's insane. But the Jags are going to be scary, man, because Calvin Ridley is him. Calvin really had him a game. 101 yards with a tutty. He was catching everything. His route running has not changed. He's still a demon at route running. It was an impressive feat by Calvin Ridley, man. I was super impressed. I knew coming into this game that he was going to be back to where he was because he's been always was good on when he had Matt Ryan on the Falcons. So now he has Trevor, which is Trevor's at this moment of Matt Ryan when he was on a. I think Trevor's better than Matt Ryan at this point of his career, not of all time, but just at this point. I knew it was going to be a connection made in heaven. Now I'm looking at the Jaguars receiving core, and oh my God, they have demons. Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, the tight end Evan Ingles. They got their running back Travis Etienne, who's a good um pass catcher from scrimmage. We got freaking Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk was kind of quiet, but that's because it was more of the Calvin Ridley show. But man, this was a really good game for the ages, man. Anthony Richardson played good for his first game. I give him props, man. The Jaguars are going to be a tough. We do play the Jaguars coming up this Sunday, I believe. Play them like around like 4 a.m. or something like that. 4 a.m. 4 p.m. I think. So it should be a really, really good game to see. Now, speaking of a really bad game, this might have been the worst game I think we've seen. No, 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 no. Well, it was the second worst game I think we've seen, and it was the Steelers. The Steelers got absolutely destroyed by the 49ers. Now I know the 49ers are a way better team than the Steelers. They have a better everything besides yeah, no, they have everything. I was gonna say like Kenny Pickett and Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy has done more. But I mean Brock Purdy, see, let's talk about that before I go into the real question at hand. Because I feel as though people are giving Brock Purdy way too much credit. Like I'm not mad. I'm not saying he's bad, but I mean look what team he's on, man. Like this team is stacked. This team has one of the best O lines in top five O lines in football, top five defenses in football, top five receiver cores in football, top three runner back, like top three like offensive. Like they're stacked. Like that team is like I'm so surprised how that team's even uplifting with all the money in the cap space. I don't know what's going on. Like the 49 GM or owner must be a trillionaire, bro, because like these are some crazy players. Fred Warner, fucking Mufungo, up and coming DB. Say I think he's a safety. Up and coming safety. Like this is like that team is crazy. So for them to but for them to actually lock down the Steelers, it was kind of surprising because I thought the Steelers and Kenny Pickett and George Pickens were gonna take another step up. They were gonna be like that receiver duo, like a Travis Kelsey and Pat, or like a Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, like something like that. They were going to take it to the next level. Kenny Pickett did look bad, so I will not give it all to the 49ers defense. Kenny was throwing some stupid, dumb, idiotic throws. They were so bad. Like my friend Brandon, who's going to be on here the podcast a lot. He's a Steelers fan, and he was sitting there like he usually talks. He was done. He had no words to say. Kenny Pickett was doing the dumbest shit I've ever seen. But I do agree that I want to give him a little bit leeway that he was facing one of the best defenses, if not top the second one, if not the best defense in the whole NFL. So I would be scared too. He was getting pressured a lot. Um, Joey Bosa, is it Joey's Nick? I always confuse with her. Whenever, the Bosa brothers, wherever one is on the 49ers, they are. He is insane, man. He was pressing. He did get pancake, and they've been showing that clip all over Twitter and TikTok, like of him getting pancaked. Like, bro, it happens. Like, even the best do it. I seen a clip of Travis of Jason Kelsey getting flipped over before. Like, it happens. He's one of the best centers of all time, and he still gets. It's okay. Um, but besides that, that game was just pathetic to watch, pathetic to look at. Like it left a sour taste in my mouth. The Steelers are looking really, really bad this year. That's what I'm saying. Is it the Steelers looking that bad, or is it the freaking 49ers just having a crazy, crazy, insane defense? I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. I really want your opinions on this question specifically because that was a really bad game. That might have been the worst looking game by a team I expected more from. You know what I mean? Like what's coming up later on, I really don't expect any much from this team, but that was really depressing, bro. That was really but they got slapped. Now this game was actually kind of weird to watch. I watched the first half and then the second half I was tuned off because it was so boring. But the Eagles barely survived the Patriots, man. The Patriots were actually keeping into this game more than I thought they would because the Eagles are Super Bowl appearances team. So I'm expecting them to come back with the same energy, like, okay, we were there. I'm thirsty for the win. I'm thirsty for the Super Bowl ring. I need to get back there. But this was not the case. They looked so out of sync. Maybe it was the lack of practice they had together. I don't know. Maybe they didn't practice a lot, but their offense did not look recognizing at all. Getting rid of Miles Sanders really hurt them, man. I don't know why they got rid of Miles Sanders. He was really good on the team. I'm pretty sure he wanted more money based on the good season he had last year. So they didn't want to. They couldn't. The cap space and everything. That's why they got rid of him. But it was not good. The Patriots, I will say one thing: the Patriots have always had a good defense. Bill Belichick is a really good defensive mind, so I will give the Patriots that lack in saying that they always had a good defense. They are really good on defense. They probably have a top five defense in the NFL. So I will give them that. So I want to say they're the complete trash, but their offense is nothing to sneeze about. Like they have Juju Smith as their main um wide receiver, and I know that was our main wide receiver, but it's we got Patrick freaking Mahomes. Like, what do you expect? Like, he's gonna make a fucking dog look good, but I mean, he couldn't make anybody look good that against the Lions. But I digress. Like, the Eagles look really bad. Um, they did still win. So I do give them props for the win. Like, unlike us, we look bad and we lost. So a win is a win. But like, it was just not entertaining to watch, man. It was really bad. They skated by, and I hope they play tomorrow against the Vikings, and I hope they are better. They are better. Now let's get to something that I really want to get my sink my teeth in on topic of Monday Night Football. If you guys know, Monday Night Football was the Bills and the Jets, and there was so much thing to unpack, so many things to unpack in this video. I mean, for this segment. Well, number one, Aaron Rodgers torn his Achilles. This is so devastating for Jets fans, man. I honestly feel so bad for Jets fans. Like I expected y'all to have a really, really good season. I even expected y'all to play us in the playoffs. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was gonna be Jets Chiefs in the second divisional round, and we were gonna beat y'all, of course, because we're that good. But like I was expecting y'all to make the playoffs. Now, bro, I'm not too sure about that. Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles in the first drive of the game, man. He played 3 snaps and then boop, he was done. It was tragic. Such a GOAT quarterback, someone who I grew up with, expired, love to watch. It's probably gonna be over, man. It was really, really sad. The Jets did deserve. This might be the worst thing that happened in Jets history. Like this is so bad. Like literally, you guys were so excited for a new QB to come in and really shake the monument of the Jets. Like, I just feel so bad. Zach Wilson, um, played okay though. So that's one thing that was a positive. Zach Wilson did play okay. Our defense is still really, really good. The Bills O line is not the best. I will give him that. So like I won't say like our defense is absolutely astronomical, but y'all do probably have a top five defense in the league. So I do give y'all possibly our defense playing outright. Um, Garrett Wilson is him, man. Like I disrespected this man. Like I remember telling my boys that I didn't think he was gonna be that dominant, but man, he is good, bro. He actually reminds me a little bit of a young Devontae Adams, someone who's really really good at like not letting the DB know when the ball's coming to him. Like say if they're both running down the field, and Garrett Wilson sees the ball coming, he won't like he'll do something late. He'll do a move or he'll do like a pump fake. He'll do something to get open or to like not know the DB's the ball's coming. And it's just impressive. His route running is really really good. He's a good contested catcher. Garrett Wilson's gonna be really big. He's gonna be really big, man. I think he's gonna be really, really good. He needs to get off that team. Um, he needs to come to the Chiefs. No, but all jokes aside, he's really really good. The Jets played a good game, and then the rookie that they just picked up ended up running the punt back, I think, for a touchdown to win the game in overtime. It was a spectacular game for the Jets, a huge W game for the Jets. Like no nothing for me to say about the Jets, but the Bills on the other hand, we got to talk Bills. We got to talk. We have to talk Bills. Oh, sorry, right there. I got it. My question number two. Is Josh Allen Are Josh Allen turnovers catching up to him? I think this is a very, very dangerous thing to say right now. I do want to say that I am scared for you guys because this was not a good game for Bills fans. Josh Allen looked horrible. In my opinion, besides one other quarterback that we're going to talk about later on, looked pretty bad. He might have been the worst quarterback I think I've seen, man. It was so fucking bad, bro. I'm sorry for cursing, but like it was so bad. I can curse because it's my podcast, but I'm trying to keep it. But it was so bad, man. It was like disgusting. He was throwing balls like like 50 yards down the field when Stephon Diggs is like 7 man. Like there's 7 people on Stephon Diggs, and he's still throwing the ball to him. It's like I'm like hopefully he plays that way when he plays us because that was crazy. I was literally insane. I don't know what he was doing. I think that all stemmed from him and Stephon Diggs having that altercation at the end of the game at the end of the season last year. So I believe that Stephon Diggs was probably pursuing Josh to throw him the ball more. When I don't know what's going on with Stephon Diggs. Like he has to understand, bro, that he can't carry a team by himself. Like he's not like one of those upper echelon wide receivers. Like I think he's top 6, top 7, but he's no Tariq Hill, he's no Adams, he's no Jamar Chase, he's no Justin Jefferson. Like I think they're a tier above him. I think they're in a tier 1, and he might be even a tier 2 quarterback. Nah, I won't say that. He's in the same tier as them. But like he's just not as good as them. I think I would take all of them over him and like no questions asked. So I don't know what's going on with his ego. His ego's been inflated a lot. I don't know what's going on with that. Um, but Josh Allen was bad, man. I think he had 2 picks and a fumble. Let me get my facts straight because I don't. One thing about this, we bring the facts. So he did indeed. Yeah, he did indeed. He had 3 interceptions and a fumble, man. That is so bad, man. He had 2 done. His yards are okay, but I mean, slings it, and he had 3 interceptions. Now, I do want to start by like this, like I don't think this is the end of Josh Allen's career. I don't think he's done. I think he might begin to fall down in the pyramid of quarterbacks. I'm gonna be honest. I no longer have him as my top 3 right now, man. After that game, I know it's one game, but the thing about Josh Allen is that I didn't really care about his picks because he had that star like plays. Like I know if he threw a pick he would come back and he would rectify it. He would do something that would make me like, dang, bro, that was crazy. Like he's him. But like now, and he would still win the games. Might I add, he would have all these picks, but he would still win a game comfortably. Now he's starting to have all these picks and losing the game, which is a whole different story. Because I really don't care. Like I said, I'm not early. I don't really care about picks. I like you throw the ball like let's say if it's not like a progressive thing like Josh Allen, I don't really care about it. But now I'm starting to see like he does this a lot, man. Like and he's losing. Like Josh Allen sold that game yesterday for the Bills. The Bills lost because of him, and it was sad, sad to look at. Now, might I add, the Jets defense was on his ass because, like I said, his O line is not that good. The Bills always had a subpar O line, and I don't know why they won't do anything to fix that, but it was subpar last night. Josh Allen played bad, and I don't know if I even have him in my top five anymore, man. Like he's been doing this for too long. When are we gonna start holding him accountable? Like if Jalen Hurts or Pat or Burrow did some shit like that, they'll be crucified. Like did you see that the game yesterday? Not yesterday. I'm sorry. This week, where Joe Burrow wasn't getting flamed as bad as he was because it's all the circumstances, like him being injured, him not having training camp, yada yada that stuff. But they were flaming Joe Burrow. They were saying that this is unexcusable for a quarterback who's got paid like this, and to always have a bad start. Like that should sometimes like he's that good that he can bounce back, but sometimes you're not gonna be able to bounce. That's a big thing about these quarterbacks now. But yeah, all the top three, my top three quarterbacks from last year, all lost. All lost. Pat, Joe, and Josh Allen all lost. So I mean, it was a rough day for football, rough day for football. But let's not talk about rough. Let's talk about one of the best week one games. The Dolphins and the Chargers, they had a shootout of straight arm cannons, man. It was so crazy to look at. This was the most entertaining game I think I've watched since the Bills and the Chiefs in the divisional round when they were just going for, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There was no turnovers. There was some turnovers in this game, but listen to me. I'm starting to think that Tyreek Hill might be the most dangerous receiver in football, and I don't want to call him the best. No, I am. I am. He's the best receiver in football, man. This guy is freaking insane. Like you don't understand how crazy this player is. He had 215 yards with two touchdowns in a single freaking NFL game. Tua was playing astronomical, making the throws, running in the pocket, avoiding pressure. Tua was playing very, very well. Every time Tua is being pressured, it kind of scares me a little bit because he has the concussion protocol. So it really, really is scary when he gets like when he gets like I I know it's football, but it really is scary when they're running at him. And if they bring him down and they just slam him like they did last time, bro, most people they don't really care about injuring other players. They just want to win the game. And it was scary, but Tua played phenomenal, bro. I think he had like 400. He had 466 yards and three tutties. He did throw a pick, but it doesn't really matter because he made up for it. They actually ended up winning the game 36-34. Um, Justin Herbert played good too. Um, Guy was getting sacked. Chubb was eating up. It was just all around just a crazy game, man. They both played phenomenal, bro. Two is him. Two is him. Now I do wanna digress and not I'm not a Tua stan because I do think Tua does underthrow Tyreek a little bit. Like he underthrows him because he doesn't have that kind of power to like really fling the ball like some people like Pat or Josh Allen has or Justin Herbert. But he still played really, really well, and I'm gonna give him his flowers, man. Deserved it. On to the next game. I thought that was kind of funny. Even though Aaron Rodgers is not there, the Packers still own the Bears. The Bears got absolutely smacked by Jordan Love. Jordan Love played phenomenal football, man. It was good. It was timely. It was smart. It wasn't scary. Like him studying Aaron Rodgers for all them years was a really positive thing. Justin Fields played pretty well also, but just like not good enough. He ended up losing. I was expecting Justin Fields to take another hop, but he's still just running for his life. Maybe they got to get him a better O line. He has they gave him a receiver, but DJ Moore was kind of locked up too. Like it was just like not a good game for the Bears. I'm sorry for Bears fans who were thinking they were going to be good, but you guys looking shit again this year. Looking like you're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to win the division. Like it's just all choke for the Bears. Now let's talk about probably the most depressing game of the NFL this year. That's this year. I said this year, and I said this year. Like no one's going to get blown out like this ever. The Cowboys beat the Giants 40-0. 40, 40-0. They broke a record. No one's ever been blown out that bad in the first game of the season. That shit was so bad. I was actually laughing. That to a point where I actually started giggling, and I actually was like, "Are these like is this shit out of rule where you should actually like be able to forfeit?" That shit was forfeitable. Like it was bad, bro. Michael Parsons, like, listen to me. I think the Cowboys defense is the best in the league, man. I think it is. I think that the addition of Stephon Gilmore, Michael Parsons still playing phenomenal. Diggs is still going crazy. Like they're gonna be scary, man. Now their offense didn't look too good, but when your defense is so dominant, you really don't have to. Like think about the Legion of Boom. Like Rush was good at that time, but the Legion of Boom was really what around them that ring, you know. And the same thing could be for the Cowboys. The Cowboys could have a really solid defense. I mean, one of the greatest defense of all time, or at least in the league right now, and a mediocre, not mediocre, but a mid-level offense. But I do think the offense will get better because they did add Brandon Cooks to the offense. So I do think it's going to be better. But these are just like some things that like I think that the Cowboys need to work on. But that was pathetic. The Giants couldn't do anything. Daniel Jones' O line was so freaking bad. It was just so bad. Like I didn't agree for it at all. It was just like so bad. Like I don't know what was going through their mind. Brian Daboll is usually a really good coach, and I don't know what happened. Like they look so unorganized. Like it looked like it was Pop Warner. Like it was just go out there and have fun. Like there was no game plan or nothing. They looked unready. Like the Cowboys just steamrolled them. It was a complete defensive win on the Cowboys' hand. Um, I don't know what to say. The Cowboys are looking crazy. But the Cowboys are, we all know how this goes. We all know the script. The Cowboys are really good in the regular season. And then Dak Prescott does some dumb shit later on in the playoffs to fucking troll the Cowboys fans. Like, it's ridiculous, bro. And they're stuck in, and I heard about a really good segment where it was like QB limbo, where there's QBs that are just good enough to get you to the through the regular season, but not good enough to get you to the playoffs, and so you're always going to be stuck with them unless you draft a new quarterback because you're going to draft so high because you actually had a good season. But the Cowboys impressed me the most out of this whole debacle. Um, and it was an impressive week of football, man. I enjoyed. Now for the other games, like I know I skipped some games, but I mean I don't think those games were that too exciting. I'll go through them real quickly. Like for instance, the Ravens and the Texans. Odell, like I have Odell in fantasy. Odell did shit. He did nothing. J.K. Dobbins did tear his Achilles too or his hamstring, whichever one. He's out for the season. So the Ravens gotta get a final running back, and Dobbs is pretty good. The Commanders and the Cardinals, that game was garbage. Like the Commanders, the Cardinals are trying to tank this year, and the Commanders like, no, hold my beer. You want this free game, bro? I might give it to you. But the Commanders did end up pulling out, but it was a really bad game overall. They almost lost to the Cardinals. Like the Cardinals are trash. Um, the tech. I'm sorry. The Titans and the Saints are trash. That game was unfun to watch. I was done. Derrick Henry was getting locked down. No Alvin Kamara. He's out for a couple seasons. Maybe when Alvin Kamara comes back, the Saints might be good. Michael Thomas is looking rusty. Derek Carr did look good though. I would say Derek Carr did make some good passes. But Derek Carr always been like okay quarterback. Raiders versus Broncos. I don't care about them. They're trash. They're both gonna get beat by us. The Raiders played okay. The Broncos played okay. It was an okay game. 17-16. Raiders ended up taking the dub, but doesn't care. I will say this right now. The Seahawks game was a kind of bit a shocker to me. Like the Rams are pretty bad. No Cooper Cup. And they were still just smacking the Seahawks, man. The Seahawks did not look good. I'm gonna say right now, the Seahawks defense might be one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. Like I've ever seen or watched in from this year. Like they're so bad. Like they can't defend anybody. Like they were like, bro, I kid you not, Matthew Stafford was just throwing it to that one, the new rookie in the middle every fucking play. Like there was there was nothing different the, about the plays scheming. He was like, yo, I'm gonna throw you yo, go run in the mid, I'm gonna throw you the ball, scrambles for yards. Like it was literally that. It was so stupid. And Seahawks were looking pretty, really bad, man. And it was not a good game whatsoever. It was just not. The Rams smacked them 30-13 in a division in a not divisional in a division game. So this is gonna carry more weight in the future. But yeah, it was a really really bad game. I don't know what happened. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna try this segment right here where I predict on camera, so you have my overall thoughts on the next week's game. So of course I'm recording this on Wednesday, September the 13th, 2023. So this is gonna be for week two of the NFL season. I'm just gonna predict who I think is gonna win and get my overall thoughts on the game. If it was good, it's gonna be good or not. It's gonna be a banger. And then okay, so tomorrow's game is gonna be Eagles versus Vikings. Eagles are gonna clap them. We all know how the curse of primetime Kirk. Not good on primetime. I expect the Eagles to come in and handle business. Should be a relatively good game. I'm predicting excuse me, a low score, maybe like 24, 20, not a low score, but like a medium score, maybe like 21-24 Eagles. Like I'm expecting something like that. Um, so so that's one thing. Sorry, I'm getting calls. Um, the next game of the first game on Sunday is going to be the Ravens at Bengals. This might be a really really good game. If Joe Burrow is playing to his Joe Burrow potential, this game is going to be a shootout, probably like the Dolphins and Chargers game. I'm excited for this one. If I had to think who's going to win, I think the Ravens are going to win. It's going to be really, really short. It might even be like a straight defensive game, maybe like 20 to like 14 or something like that, or maybe like, or I could see 27-21. I could see either of those being the scores. I do have the Ravens coming out as the winners because the Ravens defense is just, I think, better than the Bengals defense. But I could see the Bengals taking it too. I could see Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow having a day, or I can even see Lamar and Odell having a day. Like I can see both of those. But I have Ravens coming out with a dub at that one. Seahawks and Lions. I'm after the disgusting performance the Seahawks put on this week. I think I have the Lions beating them, man. This is one of the most highest scoring games last year. So let's see if they can rectify that, recreate that. I do have the Lions beating them. I think it's gonna be another high scoring game too. I'm predicting maybe like a close game, 34-31 in the favor of the Lions. Coach and Texans, who gives a fuck about those guys? They're both trash. I think the coach are gonna blow them out. I'm predicting maybe like 27 to like 8. I mean 27 to 7 or something like that, or maybe 27 to 14. Coach handled them really good, and they have a really good game. Bears Buccaneers. Now this is gonna be pretty shit game too. You thought I was gonna say it was good? No, it's pretty shit. I got Bucks beating them 27-7 or 27 to to 10. Some in that range. The Bears aren't good this year. I'm sorry, bro. They're just not. I don't see them winning. But remember, this is my opinion. These are not facts, and they kind of are facts. But I could see it going either way. These teams are both kind of bad. Chiefs Jaguars. Bias. I think I have us winning by a close game. It's gonna be a nitty gritty game. I think this is gonna be probably one of the best games of this week. My personal opinion. It's gonna be really, really close. I think we're gonna beat them. It's gonna be a high scoring game because I think Travis Kelce will be back. I think Kadarius Toney's gonna um come out and show that he can be a star receiver. And I think the score is gonna be high. I think it's gonna be 37 to like 31. I think in favor of Chiefs. Packers Falcons. This is a sneaky, sneaky good game. The way both of the teams played last week, it was actually pretty impressive. I think I'm gonna go with the Packers on here. I think that Jordan Love, with the experience of Aaron Rodgers, is gonna be a little bit better. DeMarcus Mariota and what B.J. Robinson can handle. Packers defense is also really, really good. So I have Packers beating them on another close game, maybe like 27-21. In favor of the Packers. Raiders Bills. I had this is Josh Allen's bounce back game. I feel like he's gonna come crazy here. He's gonna bounce back. He's gonna be the old Josh Allen we know. The still reckless, but get shit done. I have the Bills beating the Raiders probably like 34-7 or something like that. Like I think it's gonna be a blowout. The Raiders defense is not good. Their offense is okay. They're probably I could see them staying in the game because of Devontae Adams, but other than that, I have anything else. Chargers, Titans. This is gonna be a massacre. Chargers are gonna beat the Titans. I'm just gonna give you the score, probably like 34 to freaking nothing, or 34 to nah, not 34 to 14, something in that range. Titans aren't good this year. Defense pretty good, but offense is bad. Ryan Tannehill bad. Um, I don't see them. I don't see them winning. Next game is 49ers at Rams. 49ers are going to destroy the Rams. I think this might be a blowout. This might be a blowout. I'm predicting this to be a high score. I think it's going to be like 40 to like 7 or something like or like 40. I think the 49ers are going to score so much on the Rams, man, like score so much. But the 49ers and Rams are always a good game though. But that's with Cooper Cup, and Cooper Cup's out for the season. So, but I'm predicting 49ers to win smoothly and take care of the Rams. Giants Cardinals. I know everybody thinking the Giants, but I think I have an upset here. After seeing how the Cardinals played last week and seeing how the Giants played last week, man, I feel like the Cardinals can actually come in here and take this game from them, man. Like, the Cardinals are bad and they are tanking, but they like I think the Commanders are better than the Giants, and they gave the Commanders a run for their money. So I'm predicting the Cardinals to actually win this. I think it's gonna be a very, very low scoring game. It's probably gonna be defensive. I'm predicting maybe like 14 to like 10 or something, like a really, really low scoring game. But I think the Cardinals can actually take this one. I'm gonna give them the benefit of that doubt. The Jets and the Cowboys. I'm sorry, Jets fans. This is where y'all get your first loss. Y'all cannot step up to this Cowboy defense. They are gonna crush Zach Wilson. Like, it's gonna be so bad. Like, it's gonna be so bad to watch. Like, I feel like the Cowboys are gonna beat y'all pretty heavily. I'm not saying it's gonna be a blowout like they did the Giants, but I'm predicting maybe like 34-14, 34-17, something in that range. Cowboys gonna survive with this one. So we have Commanders and Broncos. A lot of people are thinking the Broncos are going to win. I digress. The Broncos look really, really bad. The Commanders defense is really, really good. I think I have the Commanders winning this. I have another low scoring game. I think this game actually might be like 3 to like 10. I'm thinking in favor of Commanders. I think it's going to be a straight defensive battle. I think the offense aren't that good, but the defense is pretty good. So like I'm saying, it's going to be a defensive battle. I'm predicting 10-3 or maybe like 14-6 or something like that. Dolphins Patriots. We did see this at the end of last season, and it was a really big nitty gritty game. But if Tua stays healthy, I still think that the Patriots cannot handle Tyreek Hill, cannot handle Jalen Waddle, cannot handle that offense. I'm gonna give it to the Dolphins. I'm gonna give them a clean 34-20 in favor of the Dolphins. Um, so we have the Saints at Panthers. This is going to be another mediocre trash game. I guess I'll give it to the Saints. The Saints have a better defense and a better offense and a better quarterback, so I'm going to give it to the Saints at for this one. I think the score is going to be probably really low, probably like 20-10 or something like that. In the favor of the Saints. Now we have a game that I'm actually looking forward to, the Browns and the Steelers, two teams in that division that are probably the worst teams in their division, the worst, going neck and neck. The Browns usually do have the Steelers number, so the Browns usually have the Bengals and the Steelers number. So I'm predicting that the Steelers to upset the Browns in this one. I think the Steelers are going to bounce back. Kenny Pickett's going to calm down. He's gonna read the field, stay in the pocket. He's gonna have that connection with George Pickens. I think they're gonna go up instead of going down. But I could see the Browns winning. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be maybe like 30, 34-30. Because they always do have a high scoring game. They always go crazy. I'm thinking that the Browns are going to be in the lead and still they're going to claw their way back. But those are the games for week 2, in my personal opinion on them. I hope you guys had a really good week. I hope you guys enjoy football. Football is back. I'm excited. I love you guys. And I hope you guys have a fantastic time watching football and other sports. Stay truth, stay spitting facts.